Hi there! Today we're going to teach you how to make the binding stitch and how to achieve the perfect corners when doing it. The binding stitch is used to create a neat edge on a stitched needlepoint canvas, and it is mostly used in the finishing process of a needlepoint project. In the past, we used to do the binding stitch differently. That's why we are updating this tutorial. In this video, we'll show you how to make the binding stitch with the design facing forward. The benefit of stitching it this way is that the herringbone effect will appear on the front, which results in a much more beautiful finish. We talk more about the differences between the two methods on our video How to Make a Perfect Needlepoint Binding Stitch, so you can learn more about it there. Now let's get into it. First, start by anchoring your thread underneath the back stitches. Then, fold the excess canvas to the back right on the edge of your stitching area in order to have this sequence of 3 canvas holes to work with. Now, count 2 holes to the right of the design and 3 holes to the back. Poke the needle from the back in the last hole, bringing the thread to the front and inserting it from the front to the back through the left canvas hole. This is much easier to understand by attentively watching the video. Do the same movement again, and after you completed the first 2 parallel stitches, go back 2 holes and do a stitch in the opposite direction. You should always check the back to see if the needle is coming through on the 3rd hole to the right, like we're showing you here. Then, repeat these 2 movements until you start to see the herringbone pattern forming. 1 stitch on the next left hole, 1 stitch, 2 holes in the opposite direction. Counting on the back to check 1, 2, 3. When your thread is ending, it's important to memorize the last movement you made to be able to start a new thread from that point and continue the pattern. We always end with going back the 2 holes, like we're doing here, so the next needle should come from the 3rd hole in the back, like this. Now anchor the thread in the back and cut the excess. Bring in a new thread, cut it, and anchor the needle in the back one more time, and start from where you left off by poking the needle from the back to the front on the 3rd hole back. And making a stitch on the next available hole in the left, then go back 2 holes again, and so on. Keep doing these exact same movements until you reach a corner, and you'll see that the herringbone effect will be perfect. So now we're reaching a corner in the design, so we're going to teach you how to make the corner look neat and continue the herringbone effect. When you reach the edge of the design, you'll want to make 2 more stitches to the left. In the first one, you'll make the 2 movements, 1 stitch in the next left hole, 1 stitch, 2 canvas holes back. In the second one, you'll just make the first movement, 1 stitch in the next left hole. Now, you pause the stitching and fold the canvas on the side you're going to work on next, just like you did the first time, forming the sequence of 3 canvas holes that we need for the binding stitch. So, your thread should be coming from the corner and you will continue the sequence of movements of the binding stitch. Poke your needle through the next available canvas hole, then unfold the canvas and go back one hole by poking it right on the corner. Be sure that the needle is coming through the third hole on the back like we do here. It's very important to check this to be able to maintain the herringbone effect. Next, make another stitch in the next available hole to the left and go back again 2 holes. Since you don't have a straight line to work with yet, you'll have to unfold the canvas again and poke the needle in the same hole as before, right on the corner. Bring the needle from the back on the third canvas hole to the right again. And now the tricky part is done. You can continue to make the same 2 movements like you normally would. And that's it, a perfect binding stitch corner looking neat and in harmony with the rest of the herringbone pattern. Now, the last step is to finish the binding stitch. Here, we're reaching the end and there's only one more available canvas hole. So, bring the needle to the front and pass it through the hole to the back. Then, go back 2 canvas holes and poke the needle from the front to the back. To maintain the herringbone effect until the end, bring the needle to the front again and make one last stitch in the same canvas hole as you did before. And you're done! Now you just need to anchor the thread on the back and you have your finished binding stitch. Now you know how to make the binding stitch. It's a super useful and powerful stitch that benefits projects that will be handled a lot, like needlepoint bookmarks, key fobs, sunglasses cases, patches, clutch inserts, etc. We hope you found this tutorial easy to understand and that it made you feel more confident to try or perfect your binding stitch. If you want to learn more about needlepoint stitches and techniques, subscribe to our channel or visit our website. Happy stitching!